Hey everyone, and welcome to This Week in HOS 256. This is week 5, and in week 5 we're going to be going over Chapter 7. Chapter 7 is our performance effectiveness chapter. Points of emphasis in this chapter are going to be our performance standards and evaluation, and with that comes obviously the importance, how we create standards, conducting a review for an employee and ourselves, and then monitoring the process as changes need to be made. Going over the agenda here for the week, you see that the assignments that are due this week are going to be Test 7, Discussion Board 5, and Assignment number 3, all of which are due on the 22nd at 11:59 p.m. Due date there. All right. Let's get into it. Okay, so before we get into the chapter, let's go ahead and look our discussion board for this week, just to kind of give some more feedback. The assignment and the discussion board are going to be both from the process of a performance review. So our discussion board is going to be you reviewing me based on the 3 standards that I have created there below. So basically, in the form of needs improvement, meets standard, or exceeds standards, then you will give me feedback based on that rating scale for each of the 3 standards. Okay, you're going to see that. Your classmates are going to see it. Obviously, please be professional, but we are kind of nearing the halfway point of the semester, and I want to know what's working for you based on the standards that I have for myself. Those are which are I will provide at least 2 resources besides the textbook, obviously, to aid in the learning objectives for each chapter and the course as a whole. Okay. Communicate professionally with students by replying to emails within the stated time frame, and providing individualized feedback on assignments. Those are 2 things that I try to hold myself at a high standard of, and I want to know what you think about it. And then obviously 2 announcements per week is a standard and a goal that I have set for myself. So just like you would in a business, getting an eval or giving an eval, that's what I want to see here. I want to see good, constructive feedback, positive feedback, whatever it is. I'm a big boy. I can take it. We're going to get into that a little bit more here in just a minute too. So anything that you feel like you need to communicate with me, please do. There may be other students that feel the same way about some things, but are, they don't want to say anything because their name's tagged to it. No repercussions, no retaliation or anything like that. If it is something that you feel like is maybe on the borderline of maybe I shouldn't say this, then maybe we should have that conversation in person. But please, again, I want to have your own honest and open feedback when it comes to my performance based on these 3 standards posted. Okay, so that's our discussion board for the week. All right, and then our assignment for the week, we go to course content and week number 5. Okay, so there's test number 7 we have there. If we go into chapter 7, there's a few resources in there for you. Obviously, the PowerPoint, the Kahoot. Again, guys, if you're not taking part in the Kahoot, and I can see who does and who doesn't, if you're not taking part of these Kahoots and you're not making the grade you want to on each test, then that is your fault. Okay? Some of these Kahoots all of these Kahoots will help you prepare for the questions that are going to be on each test for that week. So take advantage of that if you haven't been doing so already. All right, so let's go back to week 5. All right, so again, you have your test there. Assignment number 3, okay? That's going to be the part of making an evaluation, okay? So you're going to set your own standards, okay? You can see here in the yellow field, you're going to write your standard there. You can use the standards that I wrote for myself on the discussion board as, you can use those as, learning opportunities. Please create your own. You can find them from somewhere on the internet. You can use ones that you have, that you may have already set for yourself. But make these about the course. Okay, creating your own performance standards for HOS 256. Okay, so your standard would go there. You're going to provide the rating scale. Okay, so again, I gave you some examples there in step two. It can be stars, it can be the 1 through 5, meets, exceeds, improvement. We have on page 182 in chapter 7, obviously, figure 7.7, page 182 there, their rating scale is based on outstanding, commendable, effective, needs improvement, or unsatisfactory. Again, that rating scale is up to you. Choose whichever one you want to do and just write it there. Okay, and then that's how you will be rated. Okay, and again, at the end of the semester, I'll provide feedback based on your standards. Okay, so the standards that you have set for yourself, I will give you feedback from what I've noticed being your instructor for the summer 2022 semester. So if you have any questions about it, please let me know. But again, this is just another tool to help us complete that circle of learning the importance of doing it, creating it, conducting it, and then monitoring it on the back end. Okay. Again, yellow cells are the ones that you're going to complete here and submit. Okay. All right. So getting into chapter 7, just a few things here because we've already hit some of the most important parts. But performance effectiveness, obviously, the whole process of performance effectiveness can be kind of boiled down to a evaluation process. We need to know the importance of it. We need to know how to create an evaluation. We need to know how to conduct um, an evaluation of both an employee and ourselves. And then we need to know that we need to monitor them. If there's changes to jobs, if there's legal updates or anything like that, then you have to be willing to change. But a good set of performance standards for both yourself and your employees is without a doubt one of the most important things that you can do to help elevate and correct poor job performance. So it helps us understand what people are doing well and what we need to work on. Right? So we also have to remember that the communication in the eval process and the performance standards is a two-way street. Okay? We're not just being a dictator there where we're telling you everything you want to do and or everything that you're supposed to do and what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, and just really dwell on some of those things. It is a two-way street. In this position, we are a coach, a leader, or a supervisor. If we want to be a dictator and we want to tell them everything they're doing wrong, then they're probably not the right employee for the job, right? We can probably all agree on that. So having them there in front of you is your opportunity to be that coach, leader, supervisor, manager, director, CEO, GM, whatever it might be. But evaluating their process and letting them know where they are based on the standards, and you can set your expectations for them for the next time frame, typically a year, and then they can tell you their expectations of you as a leader. Again, it is a two-way street there. For those of us that go into larger type companies, restaurants, hotels, whatever it might be, corporations typically have both a self-eval process and the supervisor-led eval, okay, for our performance standards. And with that, a lot of places may, again, the bigger places may let us set our own goals and standards, right? So here's my goals for the year. Here's my standards that I'm setting, for the year. And with their approval, obviously, they're just going to say, hey, I plan to show up to work every day. Well, that's kind of implied, right? But you will, with some help and approval, be able to set your own, and then they may have company-wide standards too that you're responsible for doing your part. Okay, so some of us have seen that kind of thing before and realized that, Lord, I don't have anything to do with this, but we do. If it's you say you're working in a hotel and you're in the maintenance department, right? Part of your goals and standards may be tied to guest satisfaction. Well, you think, hey, I'm back of the house. I don't do anything with guests and determining the guest satisfaction. But it's like, au contraire, my friend, right? So we all, if we don't get to the air conditioning unit in time to cool a room down, or say there's an issue with the TV or a hole in the wall or something like that, then all those things can definitely negatively impact our guest service. And then conversely there, if we do those things in a timely manner and we go above and beyond to our guest, then it can also affect it positively. So yes, we are all indeed held to some sort of standards on the company level as well. All right, guys, that's chapter 7. If you have any questions at all, please do not hesitate to let me know. Just make sure you're staying on top of the deadlines. Again, our class started on a Thursday, so everything is due on a Wednesday. The dates are set before you on the course plan. There will be a change coming up after the 4th of July. Things will then be due on a different day, but as of now, everything is due on Wednesday night, and the date and time is there for you each week. Okay, so make sure you stay on top of that course plan. I hope everybody has a great rest of your week. Bye.